Hey everybody, Jay Ballard, Running Relics Garage, 56 F100 and 2000 Mercury Mountaineer chassis. Running Relics is to drag them out of the weeds, knock off the ugly, and just make them run. So that's about where we're at. So I'm kind of excited, been getting a lot of smaller details done. Looking forward to some of the first car shows or, gatherings that are showing up end of April. And so this being what second week of February is going to be starting tomorrow. So trying to get that done since that groundhog doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm getting ready. So let me show you what it is. Some of the things I've done. Turn this around and we'll see what's going on. Okay, as we're here, one of the things I did is I just blacked out both sides of the Explorer because I just kind of wanted it to disappear. I wanted to mostly just see the truck. You can see, of course, I've already extended the wheel well. I did button and touch up a little bit of that corner right there, just got that done. And so here on both sides, I have worked on the cowl, getting that squared away. This is the old hinge for the hood. Some of them other brackets filling in that gap, trying to clean that up a little bit. In this place, I used actually part of the floor, pounded it out flat, and then welded it to the inside of the inner fender right there. Also, that there is the bolt that keeps the structure down and tight, and there's a second one there. So those two bolts on both sides are what it is that is holding this part of the cab down. You can see some of the other things I've done, little stuff here. So the little corner panel right here, all rusted out. So cutting that, fitting it, trying to pin it in. I'm going to put an access panel right there. So I still got to clean that up and cut that access panel. Trying to work on one of the next things, of course, is getting this row right there. So there's my gap. So I'll work on getting that gap between the door and the bottom of the Explorer to keep all that air from coming out. A couple things still continuing to work on. I've got this painted. I'm going to look at maybe some red, but I got that painted. I'm going to paint the next ones, and I still have to put spacers to bring those wheels out another 1.5 inches. So those will work good. The other side has been the same way, has also been completely done, this whole section right here. So let's take a look on the inside, see what it is that we've done here. Jump down here to the rockers. The 56 rocker was just too high, so I cut that down, just cut it all the way across, tacked, and just let the whole thing settle down, and tacked it in, added another little piece to the back. Then there's the corners. So you got all the corners, all the rot and all that stuff is still in there. One of the hard things, and takes a while, is right back in here where just trying to connect all of these pieces. This is a lower piece, so I will work on getting the lower piece all tacked in and all that stuff. And then I have to leave this open so I can get to those, access those bolts to the front fender when it brings down. So those are in place. The door's shutting well. Let me see if I can back up here. There we go. So I still have to get all the insulation or weather stripping. So it goes in and clicks, but it doesn't click all the way. It's not tight enough on the weather stripping. So those are the things that are happening. The bed on the front side. So it's, if I get the rest of our small welds and pieces and stuff together, the bed's the next thing I'm going to start working on. I brought the bed up a little bit more so that the top of the bed comes right in underneath the door handle. And so I still have to lift up the back of the bed, probably about 1.5 inches is what I'm thinking. I had already mounted it with some brackets, so I just have to come off of those and either rework those brackets or just build another bracket, lift that bed up. So once I've got that up and together, we'll be able to just focus on the bed squared away and then start running some of the boards and stuff in there. So that's the cool part. So I'm looking forward to that. So the truck is getting closer. It's running and driving, and so I still have a I still have a leak in a radiator hose that I've got to replace. And I got the hose here. Thought I had it here handy, but I don't. Oh, there it is. It fell down. Looks like I'm storing it right there on the ground. Anyways, that's where it is we're at the moment. I'm trying to make sure that I get the air and everything sealed up on the inside. We'll be doing some seam sealer, all that stuff, and you know, the grinder and some seam sealer makes your welds look a lot better. Let me turn the camera back around. So as a young guy, I was a journeyman iron worker and a welder, but out in the field we built shaker towers and construction towers, crushers, conveyor systems, counterweights, tanks. All of that stuff that I built was DC 7018 rod, and the welding that is so much different than welding thin sheet metal with a wire welder. It's like I had to learn how to weld all over again because it's just different. It's been fun and enjoying it. Looking forward to getting the truck finished, and as we continue to get it closer and closer, you know, we're just gonna keep you updated. So, you know, like, subscribe, ask questions. So what are some of the things you want to do? One of the things I still want to keep is I'm going to drop the hood, or drop the tilt front end, but I'm going to leave the hood off at this point. I got the air cleaner that sticks up right there. I'm liking that. And so let me look at this side. I like the way that sticks up. So once the tilt front end is down and bolted in, it's not going to be tilting on a regular basis. I'm just going to leave it that way for access, though. You know, so I have to replace some of that stuff. Now this is what I call my practice truck. You know, this old truck was the parts truck. Pulled it out of a guy's driveway in Northwest Reno. He had taken all the parts off he wanted because he was building another one. He got it out of Idaho. I did get a hold of the original owner in Idaho, and he said, yeah, I remember that truck. He got the title for me, which was great. But he goes, I remember when it got hit by a tree. And so it was hit by a tree. Of course, the windshield was gone. It sat out in the field, and of course, you have the bullet holes all in the back window. And they say, hey, what about those? Are you going to replace that? You're going to leave those bullet holes? I'm like, man, that's the only cool part of this truck. But so we're going to continue working on that. And have any questions, just ask. Any ideas? Man, help me out on some of that stuff. I still have to do, you know, the rocker panels. I still have to do the, I have the running boards and exhaust. And so some of those things, again, the bed, still making sure all my brackets, so my brackets for the back of the cab are all in, but I have to make a second one and welded that up. So I have to finish weld some of those things. So anyways, like, subscribe, ask questions, let me know what you think. And if you're working on your own project, send a picture, or let me know how to find out about what you're doing. So thanks, y'all have a great day.